Hello ladies, hello gents, how are you? Thank you for being here today. My name is Mira Skender and you know that I do not take your presence here for granted. On today's video, we're going to be having a conversation. Whew. You know how sometimes you have all these things that you need to do. The year comes in and you have this New Year resolutions, you have these goals that you set, and then the day goes by, you're pumped, you're keeping up with the things that you said that you would do. And then there comes a point in your life that everything just crashes. It keeps going down and down and down the drain, and you feel so helpless that you're not able to take yourself out of that place. And then you hurt yourself even more because of your thought. You're thinking about all those things that you needed to do. You're thinking about all the people that are counting on you. You're thinking about the goal that you set. You're thinking about every other thing that is surrounding you, but not you. I don't know if you understand what I mean. You're thinking about the place that you thought you should have been, but then you're nowhere near that place. As if your mind hasn't troubled you enough. Your body takes a toll on you. And then you become both emotionally and physically hurt. That was me around the second and third quarter of last year. I was mentally drained. I was physically in pain. And I was spiritually lacking behind. I just felt like my whole life just came to a standstill. Ironical, right? Coming from someone who talks about mindset, coming from someone who is always talking about getting up and going and doing the things that you said you would do. But there comes a point in your life where you really cannot do all those things. Because you're just like on a standstill. Your life becomes stagnant. It's like a roller coaster of emotions going through your body, going through your mind, going through every being of you. I got into a funk that it was so hard for me to come out of. And even when I was trying to bring my mind to where it's supposed to be, my body won't let me. Put in the comment section below if you've ever been in a situation where everything feels like it's crumbling down. You actually know what to do, but then you can't bring yourself to do it. It's like there is this cloud over you that is preventing you from doing the things that you have to do or the things that you said that you would do. It's like you're in bondage or your body is just so tight that you can't do anything, you can't move. You now turn to social media or to Netflix because you're just trying to find some form of temporary relief, scrolling up and down randomly. Once you've watched all the watchables, you sleep in the wee hours of the morning. And when you sleep in the wee hours of the morning, what's going to happen next? You cannot get up and push the needle of your life forward because you're tired. That leads to more anxiety and stress. And then it takes you right where you started or even worse. Over 5 years ago, I started developing nerve pain, sciatic nerve pain to be precise. I was in excruciating pain. If you've ever had sciatic nerve pain or you know what that is, you know how painful it can get. When this thing starts flaring up, there's nothing you can do. You can either move, you can either turn, you become like an invalid. There is nothing you can do without assistance because that's how painful it is. So imagine being in a mental state of funk and at the same time, you're physically unable to move. So it becomes something that you're just like, okay, whatever has to be, let it be. But then you know at the back of your mind that you were made for more. You know at the back of your mind that this is not the end of you. This is not who you're supposed to be. It doesn't matter what is going on in the world. It doesn't matter what is going on in your body. You need to make sure that you bring your mindset, your mental state to a place where you can function. Because once your mind is not functional, once your mind is all over the place, there is no way that you can even heal properly. Because you're in this state of stress, you're in this state of anxiety and uncertainty. There were times where I'll make a post, or I'll update my status on WhatsApp. I'll do the normal social media things, and people would just assume that I'm okay. But I was far from okay. Because times I couldn't get out of bed because I just couldn't. But how dare you not pull yourself up together when you have all these minions that you have to take care of? How dare you not pull up yourself when you have all these people that are counting on you? It was a hard mess. A hard mess. But like they say, there is always light at the end of the tunnel, right? Yes, there is. I started pushing myself. I decided, okay, this mental state cannot keep me down. This physical hurt cannot keep me down. I started shifting my mind away from my reality and focused on someone else. I will praise, I will worship. And then I started reading this book called Living with Purpose by late Miles Monroe. And that's where everything changed. A couple years ago, I used to listen to Dr. Miles Monroe a lot. And I bought his book, Living with Purpose. But I never opened it. I didn't read the book. So while I was in this state, I said, okay, it was lying right beside my bedside cupboard. I picked up the book and I started reading it. And there was something that he said that I'm going to read exactly what he said from the book. He said, the potential of a thing is determined by the demands placed upon it by the creator. A creator will not call forth from his creation something he did not put into it. And that statement changed everything. It's not like I didn't know that God existed. It's not like I'm not a Christian. It's not like I didn't worship God. But there are some times in your life that you need that reminder. There are times in your life that you find yourself in a dark space that you need words like this to get you out of it. And it got me thinking, say for example, how do we know that the phones that we are using can do what they do? It is because the company that manufactured that phone said so. It said that this phone has the capacity to do what it was made to do. So we all are human beings. We have the capacity deep down within us to do what we're called to do. All we need to do is to connect to the source. All we need to do is to tap into our inner being. And while I was focusing my mind on studying the word, on reading this book, I found myself coming out of that stressful state. I found myself coming out of that anxiety. But that was not all of it, because life is about principles. There are some things that we pray for. There are some things that we pay for. There are some things that we have to do. And what are those things that you have to do to help you get out of your lazy girl era? Because you're not lazy. You're just not motivated. You're just not disciplined, and you don't have a plan. Come on, go so that I can finish this video.
Okay.
Look at your head. How was school today?
Good.
What did you guys learn?
About communication from a far distance.
About communication from what?
From a far distance.
From a far distance?
Mm-hmm.
What did your teacher say?
These were the options.
Mm-hmm.
Selfie. Well, not selfie. Calling someone and texting.
So basically what she's saying is that communication is important, right? Okay. Bye.
Okay.
In order for you to be disciplined, to be motivated, to radiate confidence from within, these are the things that you need to do. They may sound minute, but they are important for you to move forward.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Better step inside. to the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out and shine.
Number 1, make up your bed. Sounds funny, right? Yes, make up your bed. You see, when you're in a state that you feel like everything is shutting down and then you can't get out of bed, you have to force yourself to get out of bed. And when you've been able to conquer that aspect and you're successfully out of your bed, what you want to do is make it up. Because when you make up your bed, you feel accomplished. It's like you've accomplished one thing for the day. Once you've made up your bed right, it is very difficult for you to go right back into it, because it is another form of saying go about your day. To know how powerful your mind is and that your mind is the center of everything, read Romans chapter 12, verse 2. It's in this book. It says, do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. So our mind is the center of it all. It's something that we have to guard jealously. It's something that we have to be careful what we put in there or what we allow to linger for so long in there. What is the state of your environment? I looked around my surrounding and there were some things that I didn't want to see anymore. So I decluttered. There were some things that I needed to switch up. That way I am seeing the things that I want to see. Because when you're seeing things that are pleasing to the eyes, it rejuvenates your mind and gives you that mental space to be able to work with what you've got. So look at your environment. Is it upgrading? Is it degrading? Because when your space is clean, it lifts up your mind and it lifts up your spirit. And when I talk about your environment, I'm not only talking about your space, I'm talking about your friends. Who are the friends that you hang out with? How do they help you? Do they make you feel more less of yourself, or they uplift your spirit? What are the movies that you watch? What are the books that you read? What are the musics that you listen to? All these things affect your mental state. If there is somebody on social media that you're following and each time you see this person, it stirs up something within you that you don't like, unfollow the person to be able to keep your mind intact. The next thing you want to do is make sure, no matter how difficult it can be, make sure that you think good thought and speak life into your life. I cannot overemphasize this, because life and death lies in your tongue. Your tongue has the power to bless and it has the power to curse. Whatever thing that you say over your life, even if you're saying it carelessly, it manifests in your life. So be very mindful of the things that you say about yourself. A thought is a silent word, and a word is an exposed thought. They all go hand in hand. So be very mindful of your thoughts and your words, because your words are what will make you. I'm telling you, if you try these things, you will definitely get out of your lazy girl era. Remember, we are coming out of stress. We are coming out of anxiety. So what we need to do is to take baby steps. This huge goal that you've written down that you want to achieve, break it down into pieces. Break it down into minute chunks and go at it. Because when you're looking at this bigger thing, sometimes it may make you feel paralyzed. But if you know that you're setting up yourself for little tasks every day, you'll be able to accomplish them. Because every task that you accomplish, it will give you a sense of confidence, because you know that you're able to do these things. And every day that you keep going at it, it stacks up, and one day you will find yourself realizing what you have said that you will do. You have to make your task enjoyable, and most of all, do them. Even if it's to set a timer or set your alarm and say, okay, once this alarm goes off, I will stop working on this. That way, you know that you have a timer that is timing you on being productive. Because once you set that alarm, you will focus your mind on this thing that you're doing, and once it goes off, stop. Because that's the time that you've allocated for that. Take yourself to the gym. It is very important that you be physically healthy, because you need the strength to be able to go at the things that you want to do. You could go 3 times a week, you could go 4 times a week, but start small. because you cannot just go at it all at once. If not, you're going to break. Start small and make sure that you add it. Make some swaps in your diet. Say, for example, if you're the kind of person who likes a lot of sweets like I do, sometimes instead of eating the sweets, eat fruits. Instead of drinking alcohol or drinking something that has a lot of sugar, swap it for water, or maybe put some lemon and something that's going to make the water flavorful. That way you can drink it. Just make little changes here and there. That way you are moving forward, because the goal is to keep moving forward. Remember, dreams don't work unless you do. And when you focus more on the laziness, the path to laziness leads only to regret. You don't want to have regret in your life. You don't want to sit back and be like, oh, I was able to do this thing, but I didn't do it. I could have done better here, but I didn't do it. Because regrets are the things that will crush your soul, that will break you in a form that you will not be able to keep moving forward. Once you've known the things that you want to do, create time blocks every week. If you cannot start with a week, start with a day. At night before you go to bed, create a time block for the next day. Know that, okay, at this time, this is what I'm doing. Because when you create these time blocks for the day, it makes you know what you're doing at what time. And that takes away distractions, because you know that if I'm not doing this now and I'm doing something else, I am actually taking myself away from the thing that I am supposed to do. Because it gives you that awareness that this is what I am supposed to do, but I'm actually not doing it, and it pushes you to do what you said you would do. That is going to move the needle forward. You need traction. And in order for you to gain traction, you have to fight distractions. Everything that is surrounding you that you know that normally distracts you, take it away. Because when you get rid of those distractions, you're able to have clarity and you become more productive. Because that is what we're trying to do, become more productive. If you're someone who sometimes gets sick or gets sick a lot, and you have all these goals and aspirations and you have your purpose staring you in the face, try to walk around it. Make sure that you get a lot of rest, because sometimes we say that we don't have the time to rest. You have to schedule time to rest. Instead of spending too much time scrolling or watching movies, you can use that time to sleep. I am guilty of that. I know that I need to rest, but sometimes I will just binge watch and watch and watch and watch. And I am working on that. That is something that you want to work on. And you have to make sure that you're hydrated, because when you're dehydrated, that's when you start having all these issues that are going on with you. Once you're hydrated, it helps you a lot overcome other bacteria that may be in your body. So when you get them in the morning, before you take a cup of coffee, make sure that you've at least have a cup of water. That way you can flush out the toxins that have accumulated in your body overnight. It's very essential for you to be hydrated, because once you're hydrated, you don't have all these too many headaches that can occur within the day. Like it or not, we are not only body and soul. We are spiritual beings, and there are a lot of demonic things that are going on in the world today. You can see it for yourself. Many people are doing things in the open that they couldn't do in the open before. So you have to dwell in the secret place of the Most High, because he that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. He that dwells, not he that visits. You have to do your best to be covered. You have to do your best to make sure that you have God hovering over you. You have to invest in your emotional, your physical, your financial, and above all, your spiritual life. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Please do not forget to hit that subscription button. Also hit the notification bell. That way you know when we have new uploads. Share this video with a friend or two. That way they can come to know what we're doing on this channel. Go out there, be productive, and let your confidence shine through you. Have a fab one and stay blessed. Bye. Mwah.